In this video, I'll be working to restore a set of Design 90 wheels for a late model Porsche 944. This set of 16-inch D90s was factory delivered on a 944 S2 model, but has since been repurposed for this 1988 NA car, replacing its original 15-inch phone dial wheels. While the wheel finish looks okay from a distance, there are a number of scratches and minor curb rash areas around the outer edges of the wheels, in addition to some heavily baked-on deposits of brake dust that's collected over the decades. The wheels are currently wearing some BF Goodrich G-Force Comp 2s, which have plenty of tread left, but with date codes of 1815 and 2315, they've aged out from a safety perspective. For any tires manufactured since the year 2000, the production date codes can be found in the last four digits of the DOT designations imprinted on the sidewall, where the first two digits of the code represent the week of manufacturing, and the last two digits reveal the manufacturing year. So for the 1815 and 2315 codes on these tires, we're looking at May and June of 2015, making them about 8 years old at this point. Since most manufacturers recommend tire replacement after 6 years of age regardless of tread depth, it'll be good timing to pick up a new set of tires to go along with the wheel restoration. To get started, the first thing we'll need to do is loosen up the lug nuts on each of the wheels so the car can be put up on jack stands and all the wheels pulled from the car. These are the standard aluminum Porsche lug nuts that use a 19mm socket, and once they're all loosened up a bit, the car can be raised for full removal. With the wheels removed, we can get a better look at their condition, where we can see a number of imperfections around the outer edges. We'll also need to remove these center caps before having the wheels stripped down to bare metal, and they're pretty easily pushed out from the backside of each wheel. Here's a closer look at all the wheels off the car, and they're ready to go to the tire shop so these old G-Force Comp 2s can be removed. You can also see just how bad off the inner portions of the wheels are, with a thick coat of solidified brake dust collecting in various places. Again, the tires have plenty of tread left on them, but they've become quite hard at this point, so it'll be nice to get a new set of tires installed once the wheels are restored. After having the tires removed, there was some evidence of the wheel set having been previously sold secondhand, which was interesting to see. I then went ahead and removed all the old valve stems and the clip-on wheel weights so the rims could be prepped for refinishing. The next step was to level out some of the curb rash on the outer edges, and we've got this one bad spot here. So I used an orbital sander and some 120 grit sandpaper to clean these up. I just made some even passes around the outer edges of each wheel while trying not to linger too long in any one area so the end result would be flat and uniform. And after some careful work, I was able to eliminate most of the imperfections on the outer wheel surfaces. It's now time to get the wheels over to the powder coating shop, where they'll be glass bead blasted and two-stage coated in Porsche Silver and gloss clear coat. Well, it's been a couple days now. The wheels are all finished up, and they turned out great. The shop applied a nice even coat of powder all around, and they've got a good medium gloss, reflective but not overly glossy, which I think resembles the factory appearance, so they should look really nice on the car. Here's another look at the wheels back in the garage, and you can see nearly all the surface imperfections are now gone. There are just a couple small nicks where that bad spot of curb rash was, but it's not terribly noticeable from a distance, and they otherwise look really good. So next up is to have the new tires installed. As for tires, I picked up a set of Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus all-season tires. My primary goal for this car has always been to make it a more reliable driver, and these will work well in a variety of weather conditions. Since these D90s are staggered, with 16 by 7 inch with 55 offset up front, and 16 by 8 inch with 52 offset in the rear, I went with the factory tire sizes of 205 55s and 225 50s. So with the wheels refinished and the tires on hand, it's time to get everything back to the tire shop for mounting and balancing. We've got the tires all mounted up now, and there's just a few things left to do. Let's first check out the attention to detail by the tire technician here. He's got the tire orientation positioned exactly the same on every wheel, where the word outside is precisely centered under each of the new valve stems. He's also got the new inner wheel weights positioned far back and out of sight, and the outer wheel weights have been split up and tucked behind some of the wheel spokes, so they're hidden from view, which is pretty cool. Before the wheels go back on the car, I've got a new set of center caps to finish off the restoration. Most of the D90 wheels were delivered wearing a standard silver cap with a black outlined Porsche crest. These ones have some colored crests, like the one on the nose panel, and I think they complement the look nicely. To install the center caps to Porsche's specification, the bottom tip of each of the crests should point directly to the valve stem on each wheel, so we'll get these properly aligned and then pushed right into place. Last of all, I'm going to apply some wheel sealant to the newly refinished surfaces to add a bit of protective coating against brake dust and dirt building up on the wheels. It's finally time to mount the wheels back on the car, where I've also got a new set of wheel nuts to complete the installation. As far as these wheel nuts go, there is an old technical bulletin floating around out there that recommends applying some Optimally TA silver paste to the threads and shoulders of the aluminum nuts, the shoulders being the conical mating surfaces that make contact with the wheels. But in speaking with a couple Porsche technicians, the paste is really only applied sparingly to the threads by today's standards. Optimal ATA supposedly does not affect the tightening torque value like a traditional anti-seize would, and therefore products like Permatex's silver anti-seize lubricant are not recommended for wheel applications. When tightening down the wheel nuts, the torque specification is 130 newton meters or 96 foot-pounds. Well, that pretty much wraps up the wheel restoration on these Design 90s. I think it turned out really well overall, and they should continue to look nice for years to come, as long as I can keep the brake dust buildup to a minimum. As you can see from the before and after results, that baked-on brake dust can really cause some significant damage over time. The powder coating service came in at $740, and I had previously seen some fully restored sets of D90s going for anywhere between $1,000 to $1,200, so I think they were worth saving. But anyway, it's time to go put some miles on these new tires and get them broken in.